Mr. Chair, members of the House, the very first thing I learned about the compact several months ago was that it gave a large and unquantified portion of Montana's water to the federal government that has us $18 trillion in debt to hold in trust for the tribe. And I was an immediate no. And to this day, if that was all I knew as rock-solid truth about this compact, that would be enough to earn a no vote from me. As it turns out, there are several reasons to oppose this legislation, and today I'll focus on two: off-reservation in-stream flow rights and unlawful expansion of the tribal government authority over non-Indians. Now, I've attended the presentations by the proponents of the compact, and one thing I can say for them is that they are polished presenters. But unfortunately, I'm still left with more questions than answers, and maybe it's because I'm ignorant of the subject matter, or maybe it's because the proponents failed to make their case in a clear and effective manner that the average citizen can understand. But either way, if you want me to vote on an 1,100-page bill that takes Montana's water away from some citizens and gives it to others forevermore, you'd better be prepared to make me understand. And quite frankly, after sitting through the presentations and 10 and a half hours of the hearing on Saturday, the proponents have failed to do so. I'm still left with a tremendous level of discomfort. So I started my research at ground zero with the question of who owns the water. Montana owns the water, and our Constitution says so. But unfortunately, it's not so simple because we're actually dealing with three overlapping sovereigns: the state of Montana, the United States of America, and the Salish Kootenai tribe. Well, there's a good cluster to try to sort out who's dominant when you have multiple sovereigns. The proponents of the compact would like us to believe that it's the tribe based on the Hellgate Treaty of 1855, and that cute little rhyme, first in time, first in line. Okay, I can buy that, and as yet, I haven't seen any deeded water rights earlier than 1855. What I have seen are deeds for land that clearly includes water rights, signed by the President of the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt himself, which brings us to the fourth sovereign, the private property owner who has legally purchased property on the reservation. They own it. They have worked the land for multiple generations. They paid their taxes as contributing members of our society. They've done their part to feed Americans healthy, reasonably priced food. And now, 160 years into this, we're going to tell that Montana citizen that they'll be giving up their titled property right in exchange for a delivery entitlement certificate that will be administered and governed by the tribe of which they are not a part of. And we're going to try to convince them that that's a good deal for them. Not this cowgirl. That's got to be some kind of illegal. How about a regulatory taking? This is clearly an assault on private property rights and exactly what I came here to fight against. This compact proposes that the state of Montana expand the authority and jurisdiction of tribal governments over non-members and non-Indians where federal law has specifically prohibited it. People, the Montana legislature does not have the authority to remove constitutional provisions and statutory protections from its citizens, nor would I ever want to. Furthermore, we are being asked to create a completely new type of federal water right, using the wording from the Hellgate Treaty that states that the tribes have a right to take fish. And from those simple words that even a horse trainer can understand, the proponents of this compact would like us to believe that the right to take fish equates to an Aboriginal, time immemorial, tribal reserved federal water right. Again, they are asking the Montana state legislature to conjure up, and I do mean conjure up, a federal water right where currently one does not exist. We simply do not have that authority. This thing reeks of private property assaults and big government overreach. And it's being promoted by big government lovers, as has been clearly demonstrated through the voting records this session. And I might just be a simple cowgirl, but here's what I know. With the Simi Valley as our example, no water, no crops. No crops, no food. No water, no crops, no life. Private property values will be destroyed. This will go to court either way, so the argument that we have to pass it to avoid costly litigation is completely invalid. And when it does, I believe it will be found to be a regulatory taking and deemed unconstitutional. My answer is no. Just say whoa to the big government runaway.
Is there further discussion?